very good afternoon. Welcome to Africa Today. I am Peace Ogenegbawe. First, let's tell you the headlines. On the headlines, Buhari detail. Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari has described the peaceful conduct of the Ekiti State governorship election and the consequent victory of the APC as a good omen for the 2023 general elections. Congratulating the governor-elect in a statement on Sunday, Oyebanji's victory was well-deserved considering his contributions to the development of the state and the party before his nomination as a standard-bearer. The APC candidate, Biodun Abayomi Oyebanji, was announced the election by the Independent National Electoral Commission, that is INEC, in Ado-Ekiti on Sunday, beating Segun Oni of the Social Democratic Party, that is SDP, and BC Kolawole of the People's Democratic Party, that is PDP, to a distant second and third, respectively. Oyebanji won the election, polling 187,057 votes to defeat Oni, his closest rival, who garnered 82,211 votes, while Kolawole got 67,457 votes. Meanwhile, Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari has commissioned some strategic roads connecting Ekiti and Osun State in the southwest region of the country. The project contractor, Isam Fegali, explains that construction began in 2009, but completion was stalled due to some factors. President Buhari, who was represented by the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Adeniyi Adebayo, called for responsible use and maintenance of the road. There's been attempts by drug traffickers to export parcels of methamphetamine, popularly known as Nkurumiri, locally concealed in packs and body creams containers to Malaysia and Australia, and this has been foiled by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, that is NDLEA, at Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, and a courier company in Lagos State. Authorities say two freight agents, Neji Anoma and Eto Barnabas, were involved in the bid to export 9 parcels of methamphetamine weighing 1.4 parks to Malaysia through the narco export shed of the MMIA on Wednesday, June 15, 2022, and these have been both arrested. Another consignment of 10 cartons of tramadol weighing 225 mg packed as Tramerkin container, 5,000 tablets with a total weight of 407 kg and an estimated street value of 200 million naira have been seized during a joint examination with customs from India via Ethiopian airline was event attack. And away from that news, we move to Kaduna, where the State Universal Basic Education to 7 teachers who failed its recently conducted competency test. This was according to the board spokesperson, Hawa Mohammed, in a statement in Kaduna on Sunday, where she said the board conducted a competency test for over 30,000 teachers in December 2021. She noted that 2,192 primary school teachers, including the national president of the Nigeria Union of Teachers, that's 165 of the 27,662 teachers that sat for the test, were also sacked for poor performances. It had been earlier reported that the Kaduna State government in 2018 sacked 21,780 teachers who failed a competency test and replaced them with 25,000 others recruited through vigorous processes. In December 2021, the board also sacked 233 teachers over alleged possession of fake certificates. Meanwhile, reacting to the sack, the state chairman NUT, Ibrahim Dalhatu, has dismissed the competency test and sacking of affected teachers, terming it illegal. You're watching Africa Today on Hills TV. When the news returns, news from other parts of West Africa. Do stay with us. Welcome back. Former Ivorian cleaning lady Rachel Keke was elected to the French Parliament on Sunday. The new member of Parliament was part of the new left-wing alliance, that is NUPES. The 48-year-old replaces President Emmanuel Macron's former sports minister, Roxana Maracineanu, in a seat representing a Paris southeastern suburb. Keke was one of a group of cleaning ladies who took their employer to court over pay and working conditions and won. Being an MP was not in her plans, but the left-wing alliance, NUPES, emerged as one of the dominant political forces after Sunday's legislative elections that resulted in the loss of President Macron's majority in Parliament. Away from that story, we move to Mali, where at least 20 civilians have been killed in attacks blamed on jihadist fighters in the northern part of Mali. According to a regional official, the violence on Saturday was near the city of Gao. The officials told news agency that the situation was very worrying, with many civilians fleeing as the Islamist militants carried out atrocities. The United Nations Gao and Menaka regions has deteriorated sharply, and earlier on Sunday, a UN peacekeeper was killed by a mine in Kidal in the north of Mali. We move to other parts of Africa after this break. Just stay with us. Welcome back. Protests still persist in Tunisia as Tunisians took part in a demonstration organized by the National Salvation Front, a coalition of opposition parties and civil society groups, to protest against Tunisia's President Kais Saied and an upcoming July 25 constitutional referendum. President Kais is seeking constitutional reforms, which, according to him, will help in curbing extremism in the North African country. It's been almost a year since President Kais sacked the government and took hold of all executive powers, arguing such measures were needed to save the country from imminent peril and fight widespread corruption. However, critics have since accused him of making a grab and denouncing an authoritarian rule. In another part, remains of assassinated Congolese Prime Minister Patrice Emery Lumumba have been handed over to his after his death. Lumumba, along with two fellow fighters, were murdered on January 17, 1961 in Katanga. Only one tooth was found in Belgium. Lumumba's family this Monday in a two-part Mont Palace in Brussels, and on Tuesday, the Congolese delegation will return to DRC, where the relic will be taken to all places relevant in the life of the man who still embodies Congolese independence. Died in a hospital in the Egyptian capital, Cairo. Sudan's government announced this, saying the first Vice President, Riek Machar, said the minister was flown to Egypt on Friday after developing chest pains in the capital, Juba. Machar said he underwent surgery on Saturday and died on Sunday. In his condolence message, President Salva Kiir said he received the news of the death of Manawa with profound sorrow. The late minister was also a member of the political bureau of Sudan People's Liberation Movement in opposition. Up next on Africa Today is business news. To stay with us. This is Business News on Africa Today. You're watching Hills TV. Welcome back. Nigeria's debt servicing bill has increased by 109% to 896 naira. As a result, the country has also spent 3.83 trillion naira on debt servicing payments in 15 months. This is according to data obtained from the Debt Management Office. However, between January and March 2022, in domestic debt servicing, while it spent $548.79 million US, which is to debt servicing, giving a total of 896.56 billion naira. This indicates the amount the country spent on debt servicing rose by 109% from 429 billion naira in December 2021 to 896 billion naira in March 2022. Nigeria's debt position worsened in the first quarter of the year as the country's debt stock rose by 2.04 trillion naira to hit 41.60 trillion naira from 39.56 trillion naira recorded as of December 2021. Between January and March 2021, Nigeria had spent 612.71 billion naira on domestic debt servicing, while it spent $1 billion on external debt servicing, giving a total of 1.03 trillion naira. Developing countries won a 5-year waiver of patents on vaccines against COVID-19. The decision follows intense negotiation at the World Trade Organization, that is WTO. On Friday, the 164 member bodies announced the decision. The agreement is intended to allow local factories to produce vaccines sent of the patent holders. Vaccines can then be exported to other developing countries. Since the start of the pandemic, South Africa and India have repeatedly denounced inequalities in access to vaccine doses in what has been called a vaccine apartheid. According to the WHO, only 17% of the population vaccinated in Libya, 8% in Nigeria, and less than 5% in Cameroon. Africa Today continues after this break with sports news. Do stay with us.
Good afternoon and welcome to Sports News on Africa Today. I am Richard Badung. On the news, players and management staff of Rangers International FC of Enugu on Saturday expressed their sadness after sharing points in the National Professional League Week 34 match with visitors Rivers United at the Oka Township Stadium. Rangers scored a goal in the 55th minute through Bala Akintunde, who fired a straight ball from outside the penalty box, but this was ruled as offside. The team also claimed being denied the penalty call by the players and officials of the Enugu-based side, including coach Abdul Mekaiba, refused to speak to journalists after the match, protested openly, alleging that they were robbed of victory. Meanwhile, on his part, coach Stanley Eguma of Rivers United said his team played well against Rangers despite not scoring a goal. Rivers United are currently top of the NPFL table with 71 points from 21 games, 8 draws and 5 losses after 34 games, while Rangers are third position on the table with 52 points from 34 matches after 14 wins, 10 draws and 10 losses, while Plateau United are 10 points behind Rivers United. Away from that story, two Nigerians by names Patience Madu and Agatha Iyohe are among the 40 match officials selected for the 2022 Women's Africa Cup of Nations that is organized by the Confederation of African Football, CAF. The Continental Football Governing Body on Friday revealed on its website the list of officials of the tournament scheduled for July 2 and July 23 in Rabat and Casablanca. According to reports from CAF, Madu on the list will serve as referee while Iyohe as an assistant referee. The list comprises 16 referees, 16 assistant referees, and 8 video assistant referees, that is VARs. The referees are from 24 countries, with 5 of the overall 40 and from Morocco, Mauritius. Meanwhile, Rwanda's Salima Mukansanga made history at the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations, that is AFCON, in Cameroon in January by becoming the first woman to referee a match at the competition. She was recently selected as the only woman referee from Africa to the FIFA World Cup in Qatar 2022. The opening match of the 12th AFCON tagged Morocco 2022 will. Still talking Africa sports here, where this year's edition of the prestigious award ceremony of African football, that is the CAF Awards 2022 in Morocco. The CAF Awards will be held ahead of the final of Africa's flagship women's competition, Morocco 2023, scheduled to take place from July 2 to July 23. The event will also coincide with the 2-year anniversary of the launch of the CAF Women's Football Strategy. In line with that, a new category, Interclubs Women Player of the Year, has been introduced following the successful rollout of the Total Energies CAF Women's Champions League in November 2021. The winners will be decided by votes from captains and coaches of the member associations, selected journalists, CAF Technical Study Group, and
Welcome back. Ahead of the World Refugee Day, the Nigerian well-being of refugees in Nigeria. The submission was made during a road walk in Abuja, Nigeria, organized by the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons as part of activities to mark the day. The Federal Commissioner Iman Suleiman Ibrahim said Nigeria has commenced the enrollment of refugees in all persons of concern to ensure they have access to effective and efficient healthcare delivery. According to Ibrahim Suleiman, every refugee deserves to live a dignified life. And that's the size of our package today. But before we go, here again are the headlines. We told you that Buhari has hailed Ekiti governorship election conduct. Former Ivorian cleaner has won parliamentary seat. Tunisian protest constitutional reforms has been pushed. And on sports, CAF Awards is still held July 1. Remember to visit us on Facebook at Hills TV, Instagram at Hills TV, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Hills TV. I am Peace Ogenegbawe. Thank you for watching.